Hi, this is Diana from DivineFractal.com. This is the Sasquatch Message to Humanity, Conversations with Elder Kamooh. Chapter 2. As we are incarnated beings, there are plenty of physical proofs of our existence, but we conceal usually most traces and offer proper burial to our dead in undisclosed protected locations, inaccessible to your species. Some of your people go around hunting us either to find or cover up physical proofs of our existence, and they have succeeded in doing both. Being highly telepathic beings, when some of you identify tracks left by one of us, that one of ours knows who it is and what their intention is. Likewise, when one of yours succeeds in taking pictures of one of ours and publishes them, we can hear the thoughts of those seeing it and feel the fears, hatred, and ridicule we are subjected to in the uncivilization enslaving your people. This hurts our soul. For this reason, we avoid cameras and having our DNA sampled. Material proofs of our existence can also threaten the safety of my people, if used to track us by the powers serving the lower lords, including some of your people knowingly or not. Our human allies are not concerned about proving our physical existence, since there will always be denial in the uncivilization of the lower lords, no matter how much evidence is provided to maintain the official program of the global control agenda through the false doctrine of speciesism and an ideology of domination. Our human allies are concerned about our rehabilitation in your collective consciousness as your elder relatives and longtime allies through the transmission of the ancient knowledge we have carried to this day that was largely forgotten by your people, so that we can once again, as before, work together in reestablishing the divine law and cosmic order on our home planet. Some of us still live thousands of years and see your earthly kingdoms come and go, like leaves on trees throughout the seasons. What your first ancestors could achieve when you were sitting with the immortals in the Star Council. But your people were later subdued under the control of the rebellious lower lords, and modified to be more easily submitted. You were bioengineered to be depending and vulnerable, needing external material support for your basic survival, like clothing, shoes, fire, shelter, tools, or weapons that my people don't need to roam wild and free in every kind of environment. This vulnerability keeps you afraid of blending with the wilderness through spiritual connection and bound to the material support offered by your uncivilization, which keeps you servile and submitted. You were given a larger frontal cortex and a more rational mind with the gift of articulated speech and languages as part of a plan to transform this planet into a consciousness outpost meant for surveillance and protection of this galactic sector, since there were divisions in the heavens and wars among the stars. But you were conceived with a lower, flatter skull and deprived from the higher parts of the brain, seat of the 8th chakra, and much of the spiritual abilities that your original ancestors had received. My people are the living proof of the stories of your origins, carried in your ancient sacred scrolls and in the ancestral oral traditions of your tribal peoples. Our knowledge is what your people have forgotten about your true origins, nature, purpose, and destiny. This is why the lower powers that have taken over this earth are trying desperately to deny and cover up our existence, turning it into ridicule for the public to keep ignoring the message we carry, while secretly waging a covert genocide against my people. It all started in the times when the civilization you know as Atlantis emerged as a new seat of powers for the Star Council on Earth, and the continents were divided between factions. Old Lemuria, our motherland, where my people and much later yours were first conceived and born, had developed into a planetary civilization with a network of colonies and outposts around the world, many of which have left remains that can still be seen today. After ages of peace and consciousness, the divisions in the heavens reached our planet, but the Star Council established here could keep it safe and united. Nevertheless, after some time, a faction of star people based in Atlantis fell into the temptation of power and greed, and went away from the greater divine law and cosmic order that they were originally meant to maintain and protect on our young Earth. After winning battles over our Earth and succeeding in pushing back invading forces, they claimed ownership and dominion over our home planet, which is not their home, and to which they were sent to keep watch and protect. Their claim was denied by the Council of Star Elders, keeping the cosmic order, so the faction of lower principalities rebelled and banded with the invading forces they had been fighting against. They broke the covenant of the planetary watchers by manipulating genetics and breeding several experimental races of hybrids and slave species for their own interest and power. As opposed to the creation of my people and of yours, that was approved by the higher Council of Star Elders within a cosmic plan for soul consciousness and planetary evolution. These genetic modifications were done for selfish purposes by the lower principalities, against the higher divine law and cosmic order. Those artificially produced species, including giants, dragons, and monsters, were used as slaves and soldiers in wars against the Star Council of Elders, still based in Mu. Your most ancient cultures have kept the memories of those wars involving starfleets in their sacred archives and ancestral legends that have survived to this day. My people and your people took part side by side in those Star Wars to maintain the divine law and reestablish the cosmic order of the Star Council on this Mother Earth, our home planet. My people stood all the time with the Council of Star Elders based in Lemuria, our motherland. But your people got divided, many falling under the influence of the lower lords based in Atlantis. Some of them were enslaved in their army, and we had to fight them. As time passed, the conquering powers of the lower lords devised new ways to transform again the genetics of your people, turning them more into easily servile creatures with less spiritual consciousness and psychic abilities to take over the whole world. That's the end of Chapter 2. Come back soon for Chapter 3. This is Diana from DivineFractal.com, and please remember, be fearless, fill your heart with love, and create art. Love you guys.